welcome everybody. We have been upgraded to the Tuesday spot because I have a lot of pull around here. My name is Michael Camo. I'm here with my good buddies, Derrick Oldensmith, Sami Abusaad, and J.R. Romero. And we are going to talk about SpaceX, SanDisk, all the other fun stuff going on in the market right now. So tell us out there in the universe, how's everybody doing out there? Let us know in the chat how you are doing in this market. Okay, so Julius is saying cheers. Welcome, Julius. Okay, Derrick, I'm going to start with you. Now, we were talking the week before last about buybacks in tech specifically, and this plays right into SanDisk, which you were bullish on. They had their investor day on Thursday, I believe. And as soon as they said the word buybacks, the stock went zoom to the moon. So do you think that whole tech buyback story is still intact?
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Bank of America came out this morning and said that they now expect the 6 largest hyperscalers to spend $3.6 trillion on AI infrastructure through 2028, up 17% from its estimate just 1 month ago. Bank of America sees hyperscaler capex on a path to surpass $1 trillion in 2027. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, maybe they're off on the number, but that number is mind-blowingly massive. Where is all that money going? It's all going into memory and semiconductors, and they're hauling in so much cash from this, they can't even keep up with their own businesses. They got nothing to be able to, there's nothing to do with that money at a certain point. Sure, they're going to reinvest a lot of it, but everything else is going to be going right to the hands of the shareholders. The SanDisk announcement is just the beginning. They're all going to do it. Micron, I think it was that UBS note, they expect Micron's going to buy back 40% of their float over the course of the next 2 years. I mean, these numbers are just absolutely unstoppable. Buy every dip. That just kind of continues to be the play, and until it's not, obviously there's going to be volatility, but that's just what we got to keep doing. It's working.
JR, you think Derrick is full of it? Do you think it's just do you think we could just buy every dip in SanDisk and Micron, et cetera, et cetera?
Until something changes fundamentally that lets traders and investors know that the AI trade is fundamentally over. Derrick is 100% correct.
All right, Sami, what are you seeing from just a purely technical perspective with these semiconductor charts? I mean, SMH, SanDisk, et cetera, et cetera. Do you think it's still the place to be?
Yeah, they're pretty bullish. Look at the weekly chart. But the SMH went up 20% off the lows, and the way it topped out wasn't a bullish top. And so while it's bullish, SanDisk bullish, SMH bullish, MU, Marvel, all these are bullish, I don't think we're going back up to the prior high anytime soon. I think it needs to stabilize a little bit. It needs to go sideways for a few weeks before we're probably ready to go back up. But yes, the overall picture is definitely bullish.
Okay. Anybody have any thoughts on NVIDIA? It did wake up a little bit. They report earnings on the 26th, and it's the event of the season as of late. So, what do you think, Sami?
Yeah, the weekly and the monthly are intact. Beautiful uptrends. The daily is a little bit messy. I mean, what can you do? But it's bullish. It's really, really bullish. It broke down, if you show the daily chart, on July 29th. Broke down to new lows, July 29th, and then that got rejected and it got bought, went back up, created a rounding top now on the daily chart. So overall, it's pretty bullish, but it's not the type of chart that I would want to swing trade. It's more as a longer term trade than a swing trade because it's bullish long term, short term is a mess.
Okay, all right. Let's go to one of the funnest topics in the world, of course, SpaceX. I was kind of, before we were getting started, I was almost thinking of it like intergalactic cockroach, because this thing it will not die. We all know the story. shares coming on the market. Who the hell knows when we're going to get data centers in space, et cetera, et cetera. But like this thing just, at least for now, it won't go down. So what do you guys think? Like, am I too stupid for just saying, like, if it's refusing to go down, maybe it's just going to keep on going up?
No, I mean, I have two positions in it, as you know, because you send out the daily newsletter in the morning. So I made 2 calls on it as a long after it bottomed, and I just hope it holds up. And I think if there's a double top on the daily at 150, if it breaks it out, it should see 170. If it takes out that 150 double top. But I've sent two newsletters or 2 alerts about it as a long. I have two different positions. Looks good. I just hope it doesn't break the low from not yesterday, but the day before, 135.50 or so. And then over 150, it looks good higher.
And Sami, do you find the news at all distracting on something like this? Because
no, it's the opposite. It's like usually you want to do the opposite. So when they announced that 10%, I think, of the shares were coming on the market, it got bought because it's already like if you wait for the professionals already know this stuff. They don't wait for the news to come out. Oh, 10% gonna come on the market. Let me sell. No, it already got sold in anticipation of that news. When the news comes out, if it's bearish news, you should actually look to buy. If it's bullish news, it's probably baked in too. You should look to sell if you're swing trading. So the news is not distracting. If anything, it's a source. It's an opportunity to be taken advantage of, basically.
Okay, Derrick, you're short SpaceX, correct still?
Hell yeah, brother.
All right, so what do you think of this? Like at least my simplistic view of it is just like, damn thing refuses to go down. Like, so why still bet against it?
I mean, refuses to go down. It went straight down from 225 to 103 without an uptick, or 105 without an uptick. It was the easiest short I have ever put on in the entirety of my career. Now, we did expect that there was a chance of like a classic buy the rumor, sell the news, but in reverse situation with the lockup expiration. It's exactly what I was describing to people as an analogy with Snapchat on its IPO, which I remember very, very vividly, for like 2 months straight into a very hotly anticipated, very large lockup. They sold it. The day of the lockup, when all these shares came online, was a major bottom for Snap. SpaceX did the exact same thing. I mean, this is an Elon Musk company. It's going to be volatile. It was inevitable that we were going to get a really big bounce back, and I was looking for it. And if you recall, last time we did the show, I said I think that this thing's going to snap back. If it can snap back into the 145 to 150 zone, which is the previous support from immediately after the IPO, going back to June and the beginning of July, it was really trying to hold that on the bid, trying to hold that as support. I want to see if that previous support acts as resistance, and that's where I will look to load up. Now here, there's a little bit of a battle that's taking place. In the short term, it's bullish. Off the low, consolidating here, moving averages are catching up, trying to apply some additional pressure into that 145 to 150 zone that I just mentioned. The bigger picture is still bearish. It's still trending down from that 220 plus peak that it had. So the key spots that I'm really watching right now is very similar to what Sami just said. I'm really watching that 150 area on the upside. If it can get above, close above, hold above 150, it's going to be looking better. It's going to be looking like it could give an additional squeeze higher. I'm looking at 134 on the downside. If it loses 134, forget it. It's shot. This thing is continuing to trend lower. And the lockup expiration isn't done, right? That's the crazy thing about this one. It's going to continue to have additional shares get unlocked every 2 weeks through October. So, I mean, structurally, this thing is a house on fire, but it's an Elon Musk company. You should expect volatility. You should expect violent rips in this thing over time, but it doesn't belong at this price.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, related note, JR, where are you sitting on this, on the cosmic cockroach, aka SpaceX?
Oh, dude, I play her both ways every day. I don't care. I'm fundamentally short from 160. I think this turn's going to go to 90 and then 80 and then 60. It's the laws of physics cannot be denied. Like, how much supply do you think people are going to be able to absorb if they're doubling the float every week? Like, there are limits. I don't care how cool Elon is, and if we're putting up space saunas or whatever he's doing, there's just not enough. Now the vim and vigor with which so much of these institutions are buying SpaceX doesn't make any sense. Like, did you see Harvard went full? They went full Monty. Half of their endowment is now SpaceX. Now I don't know who's in charge of uh, running their investment team over there, but like that's making a statement for sure. Now, I mean, technically, I can share my chart if you want.
Sure.
I'm probably not gonna. I mean, Sammy's analysis is usually like freaking right on, so it's probably not gonna be much different.
All right, just 1 second. Yeah, and I'm seeing, so Harvard, about half of their equity holdings, but overall, it's a small portion of the overall endowment. So let's see.
Okay, yeah, they own buildings and yachts and whatever.
Hold on.
Can I share my chart?
Yes, StreamYard is glitching out. Okay, here we go. Here's SpaceX chart.
Yeah. So you had a lot of accumulation here from June 26th to July 9th, and then you went straight down in a very orderly retreat, accumulation in around 105, and then off the shakeout on August 5th, you basically went straight up. And you are in a bullish accumulation here. I don't know if I'd call this a bull flag exactly, but you are in a bullish accumulation here. Notice that you have a perfect confluence of the pivot that was being bought in June and the anchored VWAP from day one. So day one anchored VWAP right there. So what I've been telling my traders is, as a day trader, if I see this thing finally crack 150, you're going to have an awesome short squeeze opportunity for an intraday trade, maybe a 2 or 3 day sequence. But like, we can't challenge the laws of gravity, guys. When the lockups start coming hard and fast, I don't think you're going to have enough buyers to absorb this kind of move into a two-way corrective higher. I think this is going to most likely roll right over, meander around 103, 104, base out, put in a bear flag or whatever, and then go lower.
Okay. All right. I want to talk about a semi-related topic to SpaceX because, So we've seen SpaceX has come off the lows a lot. Also, CBRS was down in the dumps. It's come back a lot. SK Hynix, same thing. All the broken IPOs have come back a lot, and now I'm seeing just today or yesterday rather, Anthropic revenue rate top 65 billion. Like, are you guys excited for the Anthropic IPO and then possibly OpenAI as well?
For sure. These are highly anticipated IPOs. They'll be traded heavily. Hopefully they'll move like SpaceX moved. I remember Derrick talking about how pure, that was his word, the SpaceX like level 2, the way it moved initially, you could feel it. You could trade it without looking at the chart I could trade it just by looking at the level 2 and the tape. And so for sure, looking forward to those IPOs.
Derrick, do you think Anthropic could go similarly to SpaceX?
I hope it goes significantly better than SpaceX. SpaceX is a dumpster fire. Anthropic's a real company, so it's one to be excited about. It's the leader in the space. That's what all signs are pointing towards. It's the leader of the space. I'm significantly more excited for Anthropic than I am for OpenAI. I hope that Anthropic happens first. I think that Anthropic could trade really, really well. I mean, of course, we'll see where they value it, how it opens, all that fun stuff. But OpenAI would be one of those ones. They open it up really high and they just slam into the bid, and it just gets smoked lower right from the first tick. And if you don't have stock from your investment banking buddy, then you're just immediately losing money if you're buying it on the secondary market. But the Anthropic one should be fun, and you know what? More trading opportunity. SpaceX, love it, hate it. This thing has moved, right? This thing went from 150 when it opened up to 225 in 3 days. Then it went from 225 back to 150 in 4. Then it went from that 150 over time down to $105, and then it went from 105 to 145 in a few days. I mean, you know, to quote JR on this one, who cares? As long as it's moving, there's opportunity there on both sides. It's been, I mean, these are just great products for what we do.
Yeah, it is interesting. I would love to know who is behind the scenes, like masterminding the PR and marketing for Anthropic, because the way Claude has dominated the public conversation around AI is bizarre. Like, I don't know who the hell is doing what behind the scenes.
Well, isn't it just because it's the best?
It's because it's by far the best. I mean, all the programmers, that's what they use. All the serious, it's not just the chatbot. Anything serious, that's what they use. They use Claude.
But I mean, like, I think like Claude is unanimously considered the best. But when I look at like mind share in terms of what people are talking about publicly, it's like I feel like there's 10 times as much conversation about Claude as there is ChatGPT at this point. And I feel like Google Gemini and Grok have almost like fallen off the face of the earth. And Perplexity, like that's another one.
Development Claude is amazing.
Yeah,
one of the moderators in our room, I made a joke about how much I hated TradingView, and as a weekend project, as a nerds project, he ported over TradingView with Claude. Ta-da! Yeah. In like 72 hours. I mean, was it missing a zillion features? Yeah, but he had a basic charting package with data, favorites, charts, the chart types, full charting libraries. You could choose candlesticks, moving averages, indicate. I mean, in like 2 days.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing.
It is a whole new. Yeah, but it's like I've been wondering, like, are they just? But yeah, again, like I just wonder, is it like do they just pay crap tons of influencers to talk about it? And it's like, if so, why hasn't OpenAI done the exact same thing? Just because for me, it's like, yeah, I agree. I think the Anthropic IPO is.
There's too much backlash around OpenAI. Like, who wants to deal with Sam Altman and that other guy? I mean, like, I don't even really know who is behind Anthropic, and that means that's brilliant. It's a brilliant strategy.
Sam Altman is a DC Comics supervillain, dude. Straight up, it's like the Joker. He's like, humanity, we don't need it.
Yeah, I like the Anthropic CEO. I keep forgetting his name. It's like I'm like, wait, is it it's Dario, right? Like, I always forget the guy's name. But yeah, I think that's a very good point. That like, you know, like in an action movie when like the good guy holds the bad guy in front of him to block the bullets. I feel like OpenAI is almost that.
It's funny how all these guys, like, you know, Anthropic, a lot of these people that are that are competitors to OpenAI, they all came from OpenAI, like almost every single one of them. So the CEO for Anthropic, he was at OpenAI. It's amazing. But now they're better than OpenAI, which is another thing that's amazing, I think.
Okay, so let's have a quick little roundup. All right, are you guys using any of these tools like directly in your trading?
In the prediction markets, I am, but not in the stock market.
Maybe we'll have to build something there. How about you, Derrick or JR? Are you guys finding like any use for AI in your like normal trading?
I use it very, very minimally. I honestly use it a little bit for some fundamental research because I think it's a decent tool just to give me some information I want on the fundamental side. From a trading perspective, I'm just so locked in at this point on what my edge is that I am just honed in on doing what I know works for me. But for the newer traders that are out there, for newer traders on the team, it seems like they're getting a ton of benefit out of using Claude to analyze their trading results, analyze their journals, analyze their trade runs, help them figure out what adjustments they need to make, what they need to do better, what they need to do worse. Guys are using it to be able to build out different filters that are a little bit more complex than you can get from a traditional front-end trading software that are signaling them with alerts and what they're looking for. So, for me, no, but what I'm seeing is that it's really helping guys achieve profitability and success who are a little bit more newer on the entry level, probably faster than they would get there on their own.
All right. Okay.
Andrew.
All right.
Answer.
Okay.
I personally have just figured out how to program a VCR, and the Casio calculator watch. I finally got it. So.
Oh man. When I was a kid, I actually used to know how to program a VCR without the on-screen controls, actually doing it on like the little screen of the VCR.
You're amazing. It took me 30 years. But can I just say one thing?
Of course.
I just want to endorse something that was just said by Mr. Oldensmith. Guys, these are all tools, okay? They're helpful. They're very, very helpful. If you don't know your edge, okay, they're as helpful as a glow in the dark ninja suit. Understand your edge. Understand how to understand markets and pay attention to what's going on, because those are far more important things. Okay, always know your edge. Number one priority. At some point, I'll read the manual on what's it called, this infernal program, not Grok, the other one that we were just talking about.
Claude?
Yes, I will learn the Claude.
I like that you call it the Claude.
Do you want to hear? Do we have 30 seconds for just a funny story?
Of course.
So I was wrapping up my, I did my first, mentorship, and I was wrapping it up. And like they had to do their like submit their final training plans, right? So they submitted their training plans, like revision 1 totally sucked. It was awful. And then somebody said, we got to talk to Claude. What's this freaking guy Claude? Day 2, they come around. They each have like 50-page corporate, like almost like Goldman Sachs generated training plans with subsections, subparagraphs, multiple contingencies, disaster recovery plans. I'm like, oh my God, this guy Claude is amazing. I gotta meet this guy. And they're like, JR, it's Claude. I'm like, okay. They're like, no, Claude is an AI. So you got to be careful with it. First of all, it makes everybody's product basically the same because it's a heuristics engine. So if you think that you're getting a good idea from Claude, okay, so are 100 million other Johnny come latelys. It is not a particularly it's not a particularly creative endeavor unless the input that you're putting into a heuristic algorithm is interesting. The output you're going to get is going to be stupid. Which does not give you any kind of edge, okay? These are not reasoning systems yet. They're heuristic, which means they look at everything else that was done, and they look at everybody's other stupid input, and they just produce stupid output. So don't think you have an edge just because you're using AI, guys. Your edge is being human, being creative, and being different, okay? The different way of looking at the market. And you can't amplify that without AI if the original input isn't you. Okay? Just a thought. Carry on, sir.
It's funny. I was messing around one day, and I honestly don't remember which AI I was using, but I basically, for kicks, and I didn't go too deep, I basically asked it to build my edge for me. Like I asked it questions on what I already know works because it's what I do, and it just could not figure it out. It just couldn't understand what I do and how it makes money, and I was like, this is great. It's great that this doesn't understand yet, because if it does, then that means that everybody can just type in and maybe use this thing to be able to figure out exactly what I do and replicate it, and then maybe it won't work in the same way or something like that. And I was like, oh, awesome. It's too dumb.
Yeah. I mean, half the time, like it'll get wrong, like who was the drummer in Led Zeppelin. So before you trust it to change your life, think twice.
I bet you there's a 50-50 chance that if you slightly modify that question to AI, it turns you into an Herbalife salesman for life. You know? It's so wonky.
Wait until they go hardcore with advertising. Then it's going to get real interesting. We have some nice comments.
My gosh.
Edward is saying, blah, blah, blah. DHE saying, lol, so many of these guys were just playing wrong since a month ago. I don't recall that. Stop those nasty comments. Okay.
Wrong on what?
I don't know.
That.
Type an essay in the comments. Let everybody know what they were wrong about.
John
I'm wrong about 50% of the time every day. So being wrong, being right, who cares? The only question that matters is, as my Syrian Aunt Janet would say from Brooklyn, kid, are you making any money? Okay? We're not in the business of being right, guys. We're in the business of being right more than we are wrong.
Yes.
Only thing that matters.
That's a good point.
If you want people that are going to be right, this is not the program for you. If you want people that are wrong, you want to be here. Okay, let's move on. All right. We need ideas because Aunt Janet is hungry. She's got money to spend. She's got bills to pay. So I'm inviting everyone to share their single favorite idea. Not their second or their third, just their single favorite.
Unfortunately, it broke out today. It's Guild, which is another position in the newsletter. But it broke out today. That's probably my favorite long-term idea. I'm liking the way Bitcoin and the crypto in general is holding. So from crypto, I like Solana probably the most, but crypto is looking interesting long. And then short, I like GME. If you look up the monthly chart of GME, GameStop, you'll see why. It's not going really. Triggered already, but it's not going. But that's my number one short, I would say. And long, I like Guild the most, but again, it popped already today. SpaceX, if it takes out 150, I might add to it. I already have big position in it.
Just one, Sammy. We just need the
That's
favorite.
it. Okay. That's it. Guild is the one.
All right. Guild is the one. Who else wants to step up? Who's ready?
Let me throw on my screen share. Let me throw on my screen share here real quick. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. The memory names. So these memory names were in this descending channel that we have been watching. And then we identified in here that this looks like a higher low. And off of that higher low, it was reasonable to believe, especially just knowing the sector, that higher low could be what leads to a breakout of this descending channel. So we started really buying into these things in here. They gave this fantastic move. I exited the trade yesterday. So it's a trade that already happened. SanDisk, MIcron, SKHY was another one I called out for that move. I didn't take that one because I already had the other two. MIcron, very similar chart, higher low, breaks higher. I don't think that these things are done. They got ahead of themselves, so I liquidated the position yesterday. I think that you stick with this trade. You look to rebuy the dip. You look to rebuy the next setup. So I re-entered a little bit of SanDisk today. It could be early. There's still a good amount of extension here. But on a retest of like this $1,500 area, maybe a little bit above that, maybe 1560 to 1500, kind of that zone. Love diving back into this for a pivot low that continues this reversal back to the upside. It's the same thing. So just love the memory charts here. SanDisk being the leader, but Micron I think is still pretty good. You could do it in the DRAM ETF as well. It was the same pattern there. So back into this area that it's already kind of retesting. That's like 54 to 55. I still really, really like this memory stuff long. The only caveat to that is I'm a little bit nervous about market seasonality as we're starting to get into mid-August, September, October here, especially in a midterm year. The VIX usually puts in a seasonal bottom right now. Volatility increases. We see some weakness, especially on midterm years. So I kind of am a little bit nervous about the market, even though the market technicals are still intact and still bullish. You had a little bit of a false breakout of this bull flag here. Overall, it's still okay if it kind of holds this area and works its way back up. But there is a chance that we just falter a little bit just from a seasonal perspective, and maybe that pattern doesn't work. But the memories long on the retest of those levels is what I like the most right now.
Okay, awesome. All right, JR, you want to bring us on home?
Sure. This is unusual. I'm not much of a oil and gas guy. Not much of an oil and gas guy. This is DK Holdings. It's broken out of a beautiful multi-month base here before the rounding bottom. It's in a strong beginnings of an uptrend and a very nice tight base here. I believe this is all-time highs. Yeah, so a beautiful weekly chart. I'm on upper right hand side of the guy, kind of base breakout guy, and what I'm seeing here is leg one of potentially three, and a strong uptrend. And this company is dirt cheap. I mean, the 4P is 1287. The ATR and volume is increasing. Their earnings per share change in 2025 was 24%. And I'm seeing a stock with strong earnings per share growth. It's inexpensive, and I believe we're going to be stuck in the whole Hormuz quagmire and get crude significantly and permanently over 85 in short order. So this is kind of more of a technical plus macro trade that I think is going to work out real good. I'm looking at least $95 and then potentially 107.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, everybody. This was fun as always. Hopefully, God willing, we will be back next Tuesday. I hope. All right, everybody have a wonderful day. And boys, good luck out there in the markets.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.